All right. District Court's now in session. Honorable Roy Deming presiding.
May be seated. In the case of People versus Robert Lee Lucas, counsel identify for the record, please.
Your Honor, Austin R. Rowe making a limited appearance for Mr. Lucas for purposes of arraignment.
You are Robert Lee Lucas?
Yes, sir.
You're here on an amended bench warrant for probation violations. You're currently on probation for controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine, habitual criminal second. That makes that a felony. Maximum penalty, 15 years in prison. 22 count violation has been filed against you. How do you wish to proceed today, Mr. Rowe?
Your Honor, Mr. Lucas and I have already discussed the counts. We waived the reading of the counts. Furthermore, we discussed his rights. He waives advisement of rights. Mr. Lucas pleads not guilty. He asks for a court-appointed attorney. He waives the right to have a contested hearing within 10 days without waiving the right to have a contested hearing. Furthermore, he asks the court to address bond.
All right. Not guilty pleas will be entered on behalf of Mr. Lucas. Mr. Lucas will be appointed to Todd Diedrich to represent him. You may address bond. Bond was set at $50,000 cash.
Your Honor, Mr. Lucas is currently working at a company called NHW in Lansing, Michigan. He says he works about 30 to 40 hours per week. He's been doing this for the last 4 to 5 months. He has cousins, an aunt, and an uncle who live in Clare County. He says he's never missed a court appearance before. Mr. Lucas asked the court to amend bond to $500 cash. There's a COVID-19 concern in the Clare County Jail. Finally, he's presumed innocent until proven guilty by preponderance of the evidence. So he asked the court to amend bond to $500 cash.
Court's going to deny that request, and Mr. Diedrich feel free to file a written motion for a bond reduction. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
We're in recess.
All right. All right. District Court's now in session. Honorable Roy Deming presiding.
You may be seated. In the case of People versus Austin Edward Hopkins, counsel identify for the record, please.
Your Honor, Austin R. Rowe making a limited appearance for Mr. Hopkins for purposes of arraignment.
You are Austin Edward Hopkins?
Yes, sir.
Currently on probation for unlawfully driving away an automobile, a felony that carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. 4 count violation has been filed against you. How do you wish to proceed, Mr. Rowe?
Your Honor, Mr. Hopkins and I have already discussed the charges. He waives the reading of the charges. Furthermore, we've discussed his rights. He waives advisement of rights. Mr. Hopkins pleads not guilty. He asks for a court-appointed attorney. He waives the right to have a contested hearing within 10 days of arraignment without waiving the right to have a contested hearing. And finally, Mr. Hopkins wants to address bond, Your Honor.
All right. Not guilty pleas will be entered on behalf of Mr. Hopkins. Bond was set at $2,000 cash. You may proceed.
Your Honor, Mr. Hopkins is asking the court to amend bond to $500 cash. He says he's currently living in Clare County. He just moved back to his mother's place about a couple of weeks ago. He says he's a self-employed contractor working out of Clare County. Furthermore, he says he's never missed a hearing before. There's a COVID-19 concern in the Clare County Jail. And finally, Mr. Hopkins is presumed innocent until proven guilty by preponderance of the evidence. For those reasons, he asked the court to amend his bond to $500 cash.
Court's going to deny that motion at this point. Feel free to file a written motion. Court's going to appoint you, Mr. Rowe, to represent Mr. Hopkins. We will set the status conference out about 30 days. And feel free to do a written motion for a bond and have it scheduled earlier than that.
Your Honor, I think the NDIC administrator sent out notice that I'm not taking any new cases at this time.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll set the next attorney on the list. Mr. Diedrich.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Nothing, Your
We're
Honor.
in recess.
All rise.